What is going on, guys? MJ2005 Gundam here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the high-grade Gundvölva from Gundam The Witch from Mercury. Utilizing the Gundam the 1st model as a basis, the cockpits were replaced with components with gun format reception functions, allowing the mobile suit to function as a Gundam-shaped gun bit for the Lefrith Ur and Lefrith Thorn. This gun format Seeress of the North is comprised of 6 runners and a sticker sheet, and despite it utilizing all new molding, the building construction feels vaguely similar to the original Gundam Lefrith due to its canonical roots, with a little bit of the Lefrith Ur thrown in there as well. As such, the build can be considered pretty simple and beginner friendly, though the darker colored plastics might prove a little bit tricky to clean up. However, I noticed that the peg for the heels are way too tight for their own good, and that is consistent across my 2 copies. The other one I had to get for replacing a broken ankle frame while putting that off for repairs. I would highly recommend sanding those joints down slightly before attachment and play testing. Otherwise, it feels just like any other kit canonically based on the Lefrith. A straight assembly provides a respectable representation of the Gundvölva. The Gundam Pluton-esque aesthetics are fully represented, the color choices are accurate for once, and the relatively basic design means you won't find yourself needing to paint in any missing details, as nothing seems to be left out compared to the anime line art, especially with the separate head details and grey venting pieces on the legs. Stickers are also isolated around, enhancing the head sensors and providing the glow of the shell units, or the lack thereof in the case of the forehead, both of which you can easily omit thanks to the separate parts and the molded in detail that you can paint over, which is pretty impressive. That being said, apart from the seam line on the forearms, the one thing that I would pick out is that the detail can get lost in the smoke grey and prune purple pieces, so some basic panel lining is definitely recommended to spruce the kit up lest it feels incomplete. All in all, the high-grade Gundvölva has a strong representation despite it looking relatively muted, but it does require that extra bit of TLC to realize its full visual potential. Articulation starts with a flexible L-shaped double ball-jointed neck, ball-jointed shoulder sockets, and unrestricted ball-jointed shoulders. The shoulder armor can move, for the arm to raise straight up, there's a bicep swivel, single-jointed elbows, and ball-jointed wrists with a rather restricted roll. The torso ball joint allows for decent crunching, and the waist can rotate all the way. The side skirts are ball-jointed and hinged at the base, which makes room for full splits towards all directions. There's a thigh swivel, double-jointed knees with a sliding armor panel, C-clip ankles, ball-jointed ankle armor, and toes, as well as the swiveling heels. Finally, the backpack boosters are ball-jointed. Aside from the aforementioned risk with the ankles, the articulation of the Gundvölva is great, with a solid physical structure to support its movement. Accessory-wise, besides the set of holding hands, the Gundvölva is armed with the generic Gundam loadout. For starters, there's the oddly named beam carbine with a sticker for the scope. It's a pretty generic submachine gun that sandwiches into the hand for use and features a removable magazine. Apart from that, the peg on the side of the firearm can be plugged into the shins for storage G-Savior style. For defense, there's a standard shield. It plugs into the hardpoints on the forearms and can be adjusted with a sliding track and the circular peg. Besides acting as standard defense, it also serves as storage for dummy extra magazines, which can be made fully functional if you decide to separate them, while you store the main one in the shield. The shield also houses a pair of beam sabers, usable in the hand with the blue SP13 beams. Overall, a loadout that is simple and effective for a bit-type mobile suit, unless you choose to utilize the hardpoints and universal backpack connections to mount some satellite cannons onto the kit. On the face of it, the high-grade Gundvölva was gonna fall into the category of an army builder with a basic loadout, but while that is true to a degree and possible thanks to its cheap price, it manages to generally impress me. Beyond the red flags of the build I would recommend dealing with first, the final kit sports a strong presentation, great flexibility, quirky and appreciable gimmicks like the movable knee armor, the shield sliding track, and the separable dummy ammo packs you can choose to make functional to spice up the generic loadout, not to mention the hardpoints on the forearms allowing for easy customization. Sure, if you've been closely following the Gundam the 3rd and its derivatives, then the construction may be a bit fatiguing. Nevertheless, the high-grade Gundvölva is a recommendable kit, especially to accompany the Dawn of Faults the 5th duo. And that's all for me. Thank you for watching, drop a like and comment if you did enjoy the video, subscribe for more content like this, and feel free to follow me on social media with the links down below. That said, take it easy, stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out guys, bye bye.